boy Nivan Jr., the pride of Chapa. I want to welcome you to this edition of Born to Inspire. We shall be running 2 episodes every week. One shall be running on Monday and then the other one will be running on Friday. And in these episodes we shall basically be looking at aspects of leadership, aspects of team building, creative thinking, like how to deal with fear, you know, all those aspects that make us complete. Because I remember when I was aged 13, I read a quote which went like, if today was your last day on earth, would you be willing to do what you are about to do? And I had to ponder about it, because ever since then, every day I would ponder about that same quote, and whenever the answer was no, I knew that I had to change. So John C. Maxwell, in his book, The 21 Refutable Laws of Leadership, says that leadership is influence. But then a time comes and you find influence has changed depending on the circumstances. So we shall be looking at the laws of leadership, looking at how something qualifies to be called the law, because we have so many laws: the laws of gravity, the laws of teamwork, the laws of leadership. So we shall see how are laws categorized. Then we shall see when does a law stop being a law, because a time comes and you find that the aspects or the paradigms that were considered when formulating that law, you may find they have changed. So we need to know when does a law stop being relevant in this case. So I have one of my favorite scholars. He's called Maki Harvey. In his book, Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty, he says that living the life of your dreams is your ultimate dream. But then in the same book, he goes ahead and tells us that when you are pursuing your dreams, you must accept a temporary loss of social esteem, especially from the ignorant people, because what you're pursuing, not everyone will understand it the way you want him to understand it. So you must know that if you're working on a goal which is worthwhile, then some people may not understand it instantly the way you want them to understand it. So some of the laws we shall look at, maybe to give you a snapshot, we shall look at the law of significance, because the law of significance says that one is too small a number to achieve greatness. Now, when you go to history books, when you go and you check out all the philosophers, you will see that no one in history has ever achieved something great when he's working alone. So that means whatever we do, if we want to achieve ultimate success, we must work in a team. We must build a team to work with. But then building a team does not come on a silver platter. It doesn't. I remember earlier in my years when I was building a team, I had to go up through about 4 stages. One, I prefer doing things alone, because many other days when I was let down by my teammates, so I said, if I can do something on my own, I will go and I will do it. But then a time came and you find that naturally you get tired, you have obstructions, so you find when you're working alone, you don't move much. So what happened was, I said that let me get another person, let's become like partners, and then, you know, we see how to combine our efficiency. So when I brought this other person into my life to help me accomplish certain tasks, somehow, somewhere, the success was not as I had anticipated, because you find that this person comes, but then you don't have time, or you don't have the need to establish a relationship, so you give him his job specifications, you say you do your thing, I do my thing, then later we shall come together and compare. So you find that at the end of it all, it's not the combined efficiency of the two people. So I said that maybe teamwork does not work, so I had to go back to doing things alone. But then, because I'm a big dreamer, naturally I said, if I'm to keep on doing things like this, I may not reach the epitome of what I want to achieve. So what I did, I went and spoke to someone. He's called Ethan Mussolini. He's a motivational speaker, and he gave me some aspects on how you can build the team. So I went and I got my 3 guys whom I trust so much. Then we started personal development trainings, we'd read books, we'd be equipped with some skills. So we tasked ourselves to mentor each other. So you find that even when you're working in a team, everyone is responsible for the other person's success and failure. So at the end of it all, somehow, somewhere, results started coming. So the law of significance tells you that If you achieve something great, then you need a team. We shall also look at what we call the role of the big picture. Now, the role of the big picture says the goal is more important than the role. You see, when people assume positions of leadership, for example, you find someone's efforts are concentrated on what is my role in this program we are working on, or on this campaign, or on this project. What is my role? But then you find that if you concentrate on the goal that you're pursuing, at the end of it all, you'll find that when you achieve your goal, regardless of the role that you have in the team, everyone else will count that one as utmost success. When you take an example of a championship team like maybe Real Madrid, when they go on and they win a championship, not everyone on that team is a superstar, so not everyone will get that publicity. But then everyone can sit back at his heart and say that I'm a champion because you have been part of the winning team regardless of your role. So that's the role of the big picture. We shall also look at the role of the chain, which says that the strength of the team is impacted by its weakest link. Here we are looking at how best can we deal with people on our team who are not moving at the pace of others. So you'll find that there are some people whom, even if you give opportunities to grow and train and explore their full potential, somehow, somewhere they are not willing or they are not able to cope up with the rest of the team. So we shall look at what are the effects of the weak links, how to deal with them, how to give them opportunities to grow, and if they do not grow continuously, what happens? Because you find that you have two choices, either to train them or to trade them. Because if someone cannot cope up with the rest of the team members, it means he will compromise their efficiency. So we shall look at that aspect under that role. And so many other roles that we shall look at in our subsequent episodes. Now, as I'm winding up this episode, for some of you who are Bible scholars, when you read Mark chapter 9 verse 23, it says that everything is possible for him who believes. Now the key word is everything and then believing. Because one, you must first believe in yourself as an individual. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then who will believe in you first? Two, you must believe in the cause that you are pushing. You must believe in the cause that you are fighting for. Because if you don't believe in your cause, then that is ultimate failure. So when you look at that aspect of believing and then everything being possible, it means that with belief, even the impossible can become possible. Let me end with this story. It's told from the land of Ghana. Now, in Ghana some time back, there was a king, and this king had a very beautiful daughter, Fantasmaglorious, Magwantuk, Awesome, all the words you can use. So this lady was extremely beautiful, and all the people in the land, all the men were yearning to take this lady to their homes. So what this lady did, or what this king did, was everyone would come and inquire that what does it exactly take to take this daughter as my own wife. So the king made the kind of an audition, or he called all the men who had interest in the lady, and then said that you come at my home next week on Tuesday, and then I'll give you a simple assignment. Then whoever accomplishes that assignment will take my daughter, as simple as that. So these men came and gathered at the king's palace, and what they found out was the king had a swimming pool of Olympic size, and then in that swimming pool there were crocodiles, there were whales, there were sharks in that swimming pool. So now these were like 100 men who lined up on the other side of the swimming pool, and the task was very simple. You swim through the swimming pool, and then at the brim or at the other end of the swimming pool, if you are the first person to reach there, just take the daughter home. It was as simple as that. Now, these men who had come, everyone saying that I'm taking this daughter to my home, a time came and they said that I cannot enter into the water first. That's what we call technical withdrawal when fear comes into us. So what happened was, out of the blue, someone entered the water. They saw someone enter the swimming pool and then swam through very fast and then reached the other pinnacle of the swimming pool. So, as someone who should have been excited for the victory he has gotten, everyone was interviewing him that, how have you managed to swim through the swimming pool with sharks and crocodiles? And his answer was, before I tell you how I actually managed to do it, I want to first see this idiot who pushed me into the water. Now the issue was no longer about the lady. The issue was, can I save my life, yes or yes? So in life, when you're working on something and then it becomes a matter of life and death, you find that these mere obstacles that we treat as obstacles casually, you find that they will disappear. So thank you very much for your audience. Thank you very much for supporting the campaign. May the good Lord bless you and see you next time. Bye.